Yuanshen Stadium has been patiently waiting. After a long, cold, icy winter, Shanghai would once again play host to the World Cup for the 6th year in a row. More than 300 elite archers coming here from more than 40 countries to kick off the new season. There were new faces in the crowd, including Bridger Deaton of the United States. And as usual, there were early upsets. But there were also plenty of notable performances in one of the most remarkable cities on earth. The American teams, remarkable in their own right, as was Colombia's Sarah Lopez, for more than one reason. And the men's gold medal duel shaped up as a French affair here in Shanghai. Many of the sport's towering figures had come to battle for a bounty of gold up for grabs in the financial capital of the Far East, with World Cup Archery's outdoor season finally taking flight. The winds would shift from minute to minute at Yuanshen Stadium, where the groundwork would be laid for those fortunate enough to navigate their way through the field and make it to the weekend's medal matches at the River Boulevard.
Hello, my name is Peter Elsinga.
I'm Mark Schlesser, I'm from the Netherlands team, I'm 20 years old.
I'm here in Shanghai for the elimination of the team event. This year I traveled to Mexico to the Versus shoot to prepare there because the weather in Holland was not that good at that time, and got back 2 weeks before going to Shanghai and prepared at home just a little bit more.
30 seconds for that, continue to practice.
As a team we did team practice at the Olympic Training Center in the Netherlands. We did a little bit more training in windy conditions.
You know, Mike is coming in real good, and of course he won some great tournaments, won the World Championships and Las Vegas. Of course we're trying to prepare and stay focused every single time.
The first match against Hong Kong, I wasn't that nervous, just shoot them in the 10, I guess.
Well, we're just trying to do our best and shoot our shots, and of course the main compound team of Holland is I think a good group, and we can shoot some high scores, and we had just a good run on that end.
Against the Russians I felt a little bit more nervous because it was very close and different than against Hong Kong, because Hong Kong, we had a big lead from the start.
It's hard every time you get closer to the end of the event or getting closer to the finals. It's hard to stay focused, but you will try and do your best.
In the shoot-off I knew I need to shoot at 10 and I didn't do it, so that was a little bit bad.
We just didn't shoot as good as we wanted. During the last end and in the shoot-off didn't go that well for us. It really doesn't matter who you're shooting against. I think both teams, Russia and Holland, are strong teams, and in the end the Russian won.
For the final I won't be able to shoot, but I will definitely be a spectator there.
Yeah, probably I will watch on the tribune as well.
With the Dutchmen looking on as spectators, it felt like monsoon season in Shanghai as Australia took the field for the men's team gold medal match. But for Michael Brosnan, Derek Jacobs, and Robert Timms, their biggest challenge wasn't the weather. No, their biggest challenge came from the team they'd be facing, the top-seeded American squad, featuring two of the top-ranked men in the world and a rapidly rising star. Bridger Deaton joining forces with Braden Gellantine and Rio Wild to try and recapture the gold medal the Americans had won last year at Stage 1. Despite the downpour, the match still close after 3 ends. USA leading by 4 with 6 arrows to go. Australia trying to play catch-up and starting off with an 8, then a 9, and finally a 10 from Michael Brosnan. Rio Wild's only shot at a medal in China this year would be in this event. He starts things off with a 9. 20-year-old Bridger Deaton dials up another 9. And Braden Gelantine cleans up with a 10. The Americans increasing their lead with 3 shots to go. Derek Jacobs delivers another 9 for the Aussies, who had to find the center ring to contend for this title. 8 is not what Robert Timms had in mind when he let that one fly, so it was left to Michael Brosnan to salvage what little hope the Aussies had of winning the gold. The Wild Man right on target with his final shot. Deaton steps up and drills a solid shot of his own. And Gelantine gets it done, putting the match away for the USA. It's back-to-back team gold medals for the American men, who defend their title by taking a 4-point lead in the first end and never letting go. They pulled away in the fourth and final end to win by 8, 226 to 218 over Australia.
I shot the 10 on the first arrow of the match, and it went off a little quick. I was a little excited and a little worried about the weather because the rain and the wind, it's very difficult to shoot well. And I shot the 8 on my second arrow and then another 8. And then I celebrated shooting my fourth arrow, which was a 10, because I was back on track. Good shot in the middle. I was happy. So it was a little sarcastic, but I was happy to be helping the team again, because when you shoot with shooters like Bridger and Rio and you don't feel like you're shooting as well as they are, it gets frustrating sometimes.
There would be real frustration for a pair of Gelantine's teammates in the mixed team gold medal match against Korea's Kim Yoon-hee and Min Leong. Bridger Deaton, fresh off his gold medal with Braden and Rio, would now team up with Erica Jones to try and duplicate that effort. But this time, things didn't go quite as planned for the American duo. After grabbing a 1-point lead and holding it through the midway point of this match, the U.S. found itself all tied up at 117 going into the fourth and final end. Jones' shot would veer just a little off course and land in the 9 ring. So now it fell to Bridger Deaton to pick his team up, and he came through with an arrow that was just about dead center. Still, there's an opportunity now for Korea, and Kim Yoon-hee intends to take full advantage. That 10 is big, but Min Leong cannot capitalize on this chance to finally take the lead. He nails a 9, which means the match is still tied with 2 arrows to go. Erica Jones, battling the wind, battling the rain, drops another one in the 9 ring and needs a little more help from her teammate. But this time, Bridger Deaton cannot deliver the 10 points so desperately needed by the Americans, whose fate now rests in the hands of Min Leong and Kim Yoon-hee. Ms. Kim comes through with a big-time shot just inside the line. So Min Leong just needs 9 to close out the match. Forget about a 9, it's right down the middle. The Korean team singing in the rain. This match turns on just a few critical shots. The USA unable to pull away and then unable to put away a resilient team from South Korea. Min Leong and Kim Yoon-hee hanging with the Americans, giving themselves a chance to win going down the stretch. Last year I lost a match with the American mixed team by 1 point, and then I seemed to keep losing. But this time I achieved my goal of victory, and I'm very happy about it. To tell the story of Alejandra Usquiano, you have to wind the clock back to last September in Paris. The World Cup finals unfolding in the shadow of the iconic Eiffel Tower. Just a few months prior to Paris, the Colombian compound archer was hardly a towering figure. In fact, it was her teammate Sarah Lopez who had captured the spotlight by winning stage 2 in Antalya and then setting a world record during qualifying in Medellin. But Alejandra would steal the spotlight right back by winning stage 3. That set the stage for Paris, where Usquiano would battle the best in the business. Sarah Lopez, Albina Loganova would all fall by the wayside. Finally, Alejandra would have to face Erica Jones for the World Cup title, and when the last arrows had been shot and the smoke had cleared, the woman who burst upon the scene just weeks before had scored a remarkable victory. Alejandra Usquiano would be the last one standing, and the one who would stand atop the podium in Paris, where the pride of Colombia was now truly a towering figure in her sport. Much like Alejandra Usquiano a year ago, Iran's Afsaneh Shafi came to Shanghai under the radar, but she won all 5 of her matches during the elimination rounds and earned the right to face the Colombian compound champion. Alejandra fending off the likes of Maya Marcen and Mexico's Linda Ochoa to reach the River Boulevard for this bronze medal match. After 3 ends, it's too close to call. Usquiano leading by a single point going into the 4th end. Shafi wants to apply pressure, but that 8 just opens the door for Alejandra, who seizes the opportunity to increase the lead and build it up to 3. Shafi shows she's game. She's a tough competitor who deserves to be on this stage. But with the experience gained in Paris, Usquiano's prepared for the challenge. After another 9 by her opponent, Alejandra makes it a trifecta. 10s across the board in a 4th end that sees her extend the margin to 4 with just 3 arrows to go.
But now the injury is a little tension.
Shafi shooting first and does her best to apply more pressure on Usquiano, who barely gets that shot to bite. If it's not on the line, the lead is down to 3. But just about any hope Ms. Shafi had of making a comeback goes out the window with that 8. No doubt about that shot. 10 more points for Alejandra. The best hope of medaling in years for Iran fading fast. Usquiano going for the kill shot and lands her prey. Despite a strong challenge from Afsaneh Shafi, one of the queens of Colombian archery comes through with another major conquest. Alejandra Usquiano builds upon the track record she established last season with another strong showing in Shanghai. She takes the bronze medal, pulling away for a 5-point victory, 137 to 132 your final score. Now, even during the hustle and bustle, the world record's not about to go unnoticed. During qualifying, Colombia's Sarah Lopez shot another perfect score for the 2nd time in a year.
My name is Sarah Lopez and my birthday is today. I got the perfect score today against my teammate Alejandra. I think today was the best birthday ever for me and also for my team. We had a great time today. It's kind of weird because everyone is expecting not only me, also Alejandra to win everything. We were really nervous at the beginning of the day, but I think that we did it right, and it's just amazing to see how we became one of the best archers of the world, and we are like just the beginners here. We have been shooting for 5-6 years, and it's not too much if you compare to the other archers. So it's amazing to see this, and it's just a dream come true. For the final, I will be shooting against the Korean girl. It's my 2nd time shooting against her. I had my first match in Poland, but I lost. So I think it's time for a revenge, but not in a bad way.
Korea's Choi Bo-min did indeed defeat Sarah Lopez last summer by 1 point in Poland. Here at the first stage of the outdoor season, she'd already beaten Erica Jones to reach this gold medal match against Sarah Lopez, who put herself on the map by beating Korea's Sok Ji-hyun last summer at Stage 2 on Talia. Now she was looking to avenge her loss to Ms. Choi, but a soggy day in Shanghai turned into a nightmare for Lopez right from the start. Unable to clear the water from her sight, that made the target impossible to see. Lopez landing her first arrow high and to the left, missing on her first shot of the match. Unexpectedly, Ms. Choi was in the driver's seat, the former recurve champion jumping out to a 9-point lead. Back to Lopez, who was still struggling with her peep sight. With time running out, she had no choice but to release the shot and hope for the best. And once again, she missed the mark. No points for those first two shots. While her Korean counterpart silently sympathized, Choi Bo-min still had her own business to take care of. To everyone's amazement, Lopez left her final shot of the first end outside the target. 3 straight missed shots to begin a gold medal match. When the first end had finished, Lopez's hopes of a gold medal were essentially finished. Now Sarah would get her equipment squared away, and she would battle back to take 9 points off the lead. But while she was now able to see the target, the challenge had become psychological as she did her best to deal with the disappointment. Choi Bo-min, all business, calmly collecting 10s. Her opponent never gave up, though, Lopez fighting through the devastation to try and make the score as respectable as possible. Though this match had been decided early on, the Korean kept her foot on the gas pedal, which meant the final shot of the day for Lopez was more about pride. Sarah walking away with her head high and a smile on her face after finally finding the center ring. Now, it was just a matter of how much the margin of victory would be for Choi Bo-min, who closed out the match with an 8 and wound up winning by 31 points. For Ms. Choi, mixed emotions. Obviously happy to win a gold medal. Choi Bo-min, though, would come away from this very, very strange match wishing the victory had come under much different circumstances. The final score, 140 to 109. This year we're going to participate in the Asian Games, and we're hoping to win both individual and team competitions to show that as a nation we are strong. That is the biggest objective for this year. If there's a silver lining for Sarah, it's the fact she still picked up 21 points and sits in second place in the women's compound standings, heading to her home country of Colombia for the next stage on the World Cup Tour. So here's the question. What does it take to win a World Cup title? What does it take to win a gold medal on one of the biggest stages in the history of this sport? It takes talent, it takes intelligence, and it takes plain old-fashioned toughness. Denmark's Martin Damsbo possesses all 3 attributes, and he used them to his advantage last fall at the World Cup Finals in France. First, he put aside his friendship with Patrick Larson to put his teammate away. The Great Dane forging ahead, taking on all comers, including the dangerous Dominique Genet, the darling of his French countrymen. After going toe-to-toe, Damsbo delivered another knockout punch. The name of the game? Survive and advance. 2 down, 1 to go for Damsbo, who would ultimately have to contend with a defending champion, Braden Gelantine, who finally won his first gold medal at the finals a year before in Tokyo. With both men so evenly matched, the margin for error was razor thin. But when the slicing and dicing were done, it was Martin Damsbo, doffing his cap to the crowd, that witnessed the coronation of the Great Dane as the best of the best in compound archery, at least for 1 season. Heading to China, few, if any, would have expected to see Turkey's Demir Elmaçlı in the men's bronze medal match. The 23-year-old Turk had never been in a World Cup medal match and was unranked when he arrived in Shanghai. But he surprised Julio Ricardo Fierro, among others, and perhaps himself, setting up a showdown with America's Bridger Deaton. This would be the 3rd match of the day for Deaton, who'd already won gold and silver medals and would now be looking to complete his set with a bronze. It would not come easy. After 3 ends, the match was all even at 86 points apiece. That's when Deaton steps up and drills one dead center. That dialed up the pressure on Demir Elmaçlı low on his shot, falling back by 2 points. Deaton scores another direct hit, which is matched by the Turk.
Biraz aşağı alalım.
Bridger back in the 10 ring again with his third shot of the fourth end. And while 9s are fine, it's like taking a knife to a gunfight. Bridger breaks away from Elma Achla to build a 3-point lead with 3 in the quiver.
Hadi aslan.
Turkey's hopes of medaling fading as Demir drops another shot in the 9 ring. Meanwhile, Deaton just cannot seem to miss. X marks the spot for Bridger, who ups the lead to 4. Elma Achla finally finds the range once again, but at this point it's too little, too late. Bridger's hotter than a blowtorch and not the least bit interested in letting Elma Achla back into the contest. Take your hat off to the young Turk who finishes strong, but this match and this day belong to Bridger Deaton of the United States, who winds up winning by 3. Quite the debut for the 20-year-old American here on the World Cup stage. His first time out, he takes home bronze, silver, and gold medals from Stage 1 in Shanghai. This year, Pierre-Julien Deloche and his fellow countryman Sébastien Peynaud hold the same aspirations. Both would dearly love to find themselves atop the podium come September in Lausanne. But the long road to Switzerland begins in China, where Peynaud would face a man coming off the best year of his career, a year that included a gold medal for Deloche at Stage 4 in Poland. Fast forward through 3 ends here in Shanghai, Peynaud is trailing by 2. So, he leads off the 4th end and strikes gold.
Allez, PJ.
Pierre hits pay dirt as well.
Allez, Seb.
Back to Peynaud, who pounds another one home. Deloche dropping a point when he answers with a 9, the lead down to 1. Peynaud turns up the heat even more on Deloche.
Allez, PJ. Ah, c'était plus agressif.
But Pierre likes it hot. He comes through in the clutch and maintains a 1-point edge. Deloche with the lead, 118, 117, 3 shots to shoot. So on to the 5th set right now. Sebastian catching a break when his arrow catches the line. If that's a 10, then the match is tied after Deloche drops down into the 9 ring again. Peynaud is definitely in the hunt, and there's no doubt about this arrow. There is, however, some doubt about the outcome of this match after Deloche scores an 8. Advantage Peynaud with 1 shot to go. Sébastien Peynaud finishing strong and putting a ton of pressure on Pierre, who may or may not have a chance to tie the match and force a shoot-off. It came down to a call from the judges who deemed Deloche would have to settle for silver. Sébastien Peynaud follows up on his big win over Braden Gellentine at the Indoor World Cup final in Las Vegas by making a seamless transition outdoors and pulling off the upset of the top-ranked archer in men's compound competition. The gold medal at Stage 1 decided by 1 point, 147 to 146, the score in Shanghai.
So archers and audience, please stand by.
These last few weeks, I modified the setting of my equipment with my coach. Now everything seems to be going well. I had an event in France just before Shanghai where I shot 705 points, my personal best. It was promising, but I didn't think I would reach the podium, let alone win here in Shanghai.
Mais de là à dire que j'allais finir sur le podium ou même gagner, loin de là.
Sébastien Peynaud atop the leaderboard, followed by Deloche, 2 Americans and 3 Koreans, as the World Cup Tour now heads to Stage 2 in Colombia. We'll see you in Medellin.